Since 16th March 2024, when the GATE result came, like I have received a lots of congratulations message on LinkedIn and WhatsApp from my known and unknown people too. And with that particular question, but with that particular congratulations message, the question which I get is like whether you are joining IIT or a PSU. And my answer was no, I'm not joining any of these. So people usually ask why, like, why are you not joining an IIT or a PSU even after getting AIR-23? So in this video, I'm going to cover this particular thing because many people used to ask me this question, and people also want to know like what are the other options they have, why to not join IIT or PSU. So in this video, I will be covering all these things. So hello everyone, I am Abid, and I secured AIR-23 in GATE 2024. So if you are new to this channel, you can join, you can subscribe it, and like I used to create videos regarding GATE preparation and all. So, I'm currently working in ExxonMobil, which is an MNC. Many of you have heard it, or many of you haven't. It's an oil and gas company, though. Even after getting IR-23, when I compared ExxonMobil or any private company with a public company, with a government company, and I compared it in terms of many things. It's always a personal preference too. So like for me, the personal preference was like I want two things in my life. Like one is growth and one is exposure. Like at this age especially, like once you are settled in life, then you don't want to take risk. You want a very secure and stable life. But in the phase of like I'm just joining the industry right now, and at this particular stage, I'm more focusing towards, I will say, growth and exposure. Okay. And one more thing is that I want like whatever work I do, someone should appreciate me or someone should acknowledge it. Okay. It's not like it doesn't matter how you work, no one acknowledges it and all those things. So now I will tell you like why I didn't choose PSU. Like I will tell you three, four reasons though. Okay. So the first and foremost reason is growth. As I told, like my personal preference is growth. So the first reason is growth only. What happens in PSU many a times, like when you see PSU's package, it's mostly 18 lakh, 20 lakh, something like that, which seems to be very lucrative. Like everyone wants to get it. But what happens in PSUs actually, like year by year, the appreciation, like the appraisal you get is mostly 3 to 4% only. It's limited to 3 to 4%. So like for example, today your salary is like your whole package is 18 lakh. So next year it will be somewhere 3% or 4% more than that. In most of the private companies, this particular appraisal is mostly 10% at least. Okay, so it's 10 to 15%, and many a times 20 or 25% based on your performance. So that's one thing. Okay? So this motivates you basically to work harder because you want to work, like you are getting something to work hard. Okay, always like money is one of the driving parameter in everyone's life. Everyone want to get more money as much as possible. So one of the reason is this growth, one thing. Second, in growth also and exposure also, is that in PSUs most of the time you get a promotion after 3 to 4 years. Like it's fixed. Ki after like once you are work, like you join in 2024, so in 2027 or 2028 you are going to get this particular promotion. So this is fixed. This is not going to change. So this basically limits you because you know that okay, fine, I have joined it right now. It's my first year. I'm not, if I work hard, like if I work more than a person who is 10-year experienced also, no one is going to acknowledge it. Okay? No one is going to say that yeah, this person has worked very hard, we can give him a promotion early compared to this particular person. So this happens in PSU. So that's why people usually, like if you will see for any most of the government jobs, people have usually this mindset that let it be, what's happening, let it happen, no one cares, sort of. That particular attitude is basically there when you go for any government job or a government employee. If you ask them, obviously if you ask a new employee, he is very much like energetic and he will say no, this thing not happen. But if you, because like to decide this particular thing, I have talked to a lot of people. I approached them through LinkedIn and all. And I talked to one of the person who is working in EIL for last 10 years. And when I asked him about, like I told him my situation, I asked him, "Ki, what should I do?" Then he told me, like, if you are, as you're told that your particular parameters are these on which you want to work and all those things. So if you want these things in life, then I will suggest that EIL is not a place for you. So I'm not defaming EIL. I'm not saying that EIL is a bad PSU or a good PSU. It's just that I have set a parameter for me. Okay, like many people told me, like, if you get PSU, you will get job security and all. Like, I believe on myself. I am like, yeah, I believe myself that even if I get, uh, if my offer revoked from this particular company, also I will be able to get some other offer. Like, I believe myself. So it's totally person to person. It's up to you that what type of life you want, how you want to grow in your life. Like, many people, it's like very much sorted, because they just want a job and they don't want to work hard in that particular thing. They want to chill. Okay, they are like, we have already studied 20 years for like school, then college, then to get this job, and come like competitive exam and all those things, gate and all. So for them, they are, this is very much sorted, that once they get into a PSU, they don't want to work hard. They don't want to. They want to chill. So it's up to them. Like, it's not nothing wrong or right in this. Like, it's totally a person's preference. Okay. And the second reason I will say is that no value addition as such, because if you will see, like, if you are experienced in a PSU, you will be working on a managerial role, and after few years you will find that you are doing the same job again and again. Okay, so basically what happens that in many of the PSUs, you are not going to get like, you are basically going to do a monotonous job. Okay, so the things which you have done in your first 2 years, mostly you are going to repeat it for next 30 years. That's most of the time that happens in a PSU. So it's sort of a very monotonous job. Okay, so many a times you don't get very challenging situations, or you don't get that thrill in your life. Okay, so maybe it's fine, like at the age of 14, maybe a person don't want any thrill because he is already settled, he want a stable life and all those things. But I guess in your 20s and early 30s, you want those things. Okay, you want those challenges, you want to grow. Okay, so that's one of the reason for me to not choose it. The next reason is, like, what is the place you are going to work at. Okay, for example, if you consider an example of IOCL, so IOCL has multiple refineries throughout India. So if you get, once you get selected in IOCL, and if you are a male candidate especially, then you are not very much sure where you are going to work. So it can be a very remote place also, it can be near your home also. So it's totally luck based thing. Okay, it's very hard to get a plant which is near your home, so that it's accessible for you to reach there. Okay, so many a times it happens that I was talking to one of my senior, he is currently working in BPCL. So he told me, like, one of my friend, he is from UP. Okay, I'm also from UP though. So he said ki he himself and his friend, they both are from UP. So he himself got a position, like got his job in Lucknow. So it's very near from his home and everything is sorted for him. But he's one of the friend who is also from the same sort of place, same region, but he got his job in Kerala, that too in a very remote location. So you never know, like, where you are going to get your job. So that's one of the reason, like, when it comes to most of the private companies, they already tell you, like, where you are going to get placed. Okay, where you are going to work, so you basically know where I'm going to go. But with most of the PSUs, what happens that you are not knowing where you are going to work. So once everything is done, then the final offer letter which you are going to get, there they will mention what you are going to do, so where you are going to be. So that's very hard to, because many times it's there that you are going to earn well, but you don't have a good place to spend well. Okay, so you are, for example, you are earning 100 rupees a day, and you are not getting a place to even spend more than 20 rupees. So it most of the you people will think that it's good, yeah, you're saving a lot. It's not like that. Okay, once you are earning, you want to spend also. Okay, you want to have that life which you have dreamed of. So many a times with the PSU being in a very remote location, you are not going to get that particular life. So that's one more reason why I didn't choose PSU. And the next reason, and the final reason I will say, is, like, there are multiple reasons. Like, you can just search it on Quora and you will get a lot of things about that. Like, there are, like, many of the answers written by the people who have worked in 1 or 2 years in PSUs, and then they leave it. Okay, so why they leave it, they have mentioned a lot of reasons over there. So if you want to like see more of it, you can do that. And you can also like search on LinkedIn, like you will find a lot of people working over there. Just randomly message them like, I want to like connect with you, and I want to ask you other things. They will surely help you out. So you can ask them. Like that's what I did, and that's how I came to know about what would be a better option for me. So the next thing which I'm going to tell you is that many of the PSUs have a very bad culture. Okay, with the bad culture, what I means is that I'm not saying that the PSUs are not like there is a very bad culture in PSUs though, but yeah, like there are certain roles. For example, if you join sales and marketing role in PSUs, uh, that particular role is very hectic in the sense that. For example, like most of the time, the people who are joining to a PSU are engineers. Okay? We are not a sales and marketing people. But what happens that like there are currently in India there are PSUs who are specifically taking engineers for sales and marketing roles. Uh, for example, like as much as I know, BPCL is doing this particular thing. So what happens that you don't get training over there. Like you don't get a lot of training related to sales and marketing, because many of the companies used to hire a person, they train them, and then they ask them to do a particular stuff. But that's not happens with PSU. Many a times you're not going to get a good training over there. Okay, and even without any such like any good training and all those stuffs, they are going to ask you to work on it. So it's like learning from a very scratch with the things which is not under your domain even. So it's very hard for people. And in that particular sector, as much because I have talked to people, that's why I'm telling you that even this happened that people I have to work on Sundays also. There's no such working hours in this particular domain. So, and basically, if you are going to join any BSU in future, just make sure to get an idea like where are you going to join, in which sector you are going to join, for what particular role you are going to join. So make sure you do this. Okay, the whole motive of making this video is to firstly answer those people like who generally ask me about this. Secondly, like if you get a very good option to a good job offer basically from any reputed private company, and then consider it. PSUs are not the only option, I will say. And other than this, yeah, like to give you an insight like why people can not go to PSU. Okay, it's not. I'm not motivating you to like to leave GATE and just prepare for PSU or something like that. The whole motive of this particular video is not to motivate you for that particular thing, though. But yeah, like if you have that option, then please consider it. The next thing, like okay, I already covered about PSUs. Now, why I didn't join IIT? Like this is also a thing. Like why I didn't pursue like higher studies. I'm already from an NIT. Basically, I'm from VNIT Nagpur. Like 2024 pass out only. So like why I didn't get go for MTech right now is basic. It's very simple. Like I really don't know like what I want to do in my life, because and I think most of us don't know once we complete our BTech. BTech is very simple now. Like you have done your 11th, 12th, then you have just 3 4 degrees option. Like either you go for MBBS, you go for BSc, go for BTech, you go for BCom or something like that. So it's very sorted. Like everyone has to do something. So you just go and take BTech if you're maths, and if you're from maths stream, you're going to go for BTech and you will do it. So that's what I did. That's what almost everyone listening to this video have done. Okay, so the thing is like what after that? Because after BTech, once you are done with your 4 year, you have this tag of an engineer with you. But and you have multiple options open for you. Like even if you want to go to for higher studies, there are multiple options in higher studies also. You want to do MBA, you want to do MTech, you want to do like you want to study in India, you want to study abroad, you want to do anything. See, you want to work in industry, you want to work in public sector or private sector, and you want to do a startup or whatever. Like there are multiple options with you. So and with BTech, most of us we are not able to get that particular point. I personally prefer like I just love my core. Okay, like I'm a chemical engineer. I love my core things. I am preparing. I started my preparation after 3rd year, and my basic motto behind my preparation was to learn my core subjects. I wasn't like throughout my preparation, I wasn't very much keen towards joining PSU or something like that. I was always like, okay, I'm learning mass transfer because I want to learn mass transfer. Okay, that the gate rank and everything was like a sort of a byproduct of that my preparation, and it helps me. ठीक है? Like though I haven't joined, like people ask me this too, like as you haven't joined anything like PSU or anything, then why you have prepared for gate? So make sure that gate is not for this thing. I will say gate is not for PSUs, gate is not for IITs. Okay, gate basically help you to focus more on your particular stream. Okay, maybe you are a chemical engineer, electrical engineer, mechanical engineer, but whatever you are, because in our Indian education system there is a loophole. Like people, like you know about our engineering colleges, like you will not study throughout your semester. You will just study one day before exam and you are going to get passed. So that's how the culture is of our engineering colleges. So once you start preparing for gate, the advantage you are going to get because of preparation of gate is that you are going to fill that particular loophole. Okay, you are going to learn your particular subject. For example, you started a particular subject for college and you started a particular subject for gate. There is going to be a huge difference in it. Okay, once you started for college, you will just look at, okay, what teacher taught, what are the notes, what are the previous year questions, what are the, when is the exam, and that's it. Okay, you will hardly study for 10 to 20 hours for that particular paper. But once you started that particular subject, once you start learning that particular subject for gate, then you will find that you are going to focus on the like how that particular subject has been designed, what are the key topics in this particular subject. Okay, like what are the important derivations, how these derivations came, if there is a derivation, what are the assumptions related to it, what are its application, what are, like what type of numericals can be asked, like, but like the numerical is basically for from gate perspective because questions are going to be numerical. So like, but doing all these things, you will get an idea of that whole subject in a very different way compared to the same when you do it like on the other way, like for college and all. So I'm like myself, I've done this particular thing. I started get gate preparation because of this main reason. And I will suggest you all, like if you are focused towards your core chemical, your core industry, like maybe anything electrical, mechanical, civil or anything, I will suggest you all to prepare for gate from that perspective that you want to learn and not to just go to any PSU or IIT. Okay, so I hope I have covered a lot of things. My the question which is being asked to me, I have answered. If you have anything to ask on this, you can reach me out. In the comment section is always open. You can reach me on LinkedIn also. Okay, and yeah, that's it for the day. Thank you.